Time for sound design. In today's video I will make a sampled instrument in Ableton's sampler by sampling this kalimba. I bought this kalimba a couple of years ago from Etsy. It's handmade in Spain. I saw that unfortunately the shop is closed for the moment, but I will still link it down in the description below. I will record a few notes on the kalimba by using the RØDE NTG4 shotgun microphone that you see here. Then we will go to Ableton, put it into sampler, one of the notes or multiple, let's see, and create some kind of ambient textural instrument from it. All right, let's record some notes. Let's go now to Ableton and see if there's anything useful in this. So as you can see here in Ableton, we have an audio track with the recording. It's fairly low in volume, so let's boost it a little bit and let's see if we can find something that is usable. It's quite low in volume. I think there are some notes in there that we can use. So let's load this into sampler and let's get started. So the first thing I have to do again is boost the volume. Maybe the note here. Maybe this one is better. So let's now focus on one single note. So it's a D, so I'm going to change the root note to a D, which means that now if I play C on the keyboard, you actually hear a C. And what I think is nice is that you hear a little bit of my finger on the tine of the kalimba, so you have that little bit of sort of surface noise in the sound. Okay, let's put the sustain mode on forward reverse to see if we can create something interesting from this. And put on the crossfade, so we smooth it out. So this is actually interesting because you hear the attack of the sound, but then when you hold the note, it loops and you use the crossfade to sort of seemingly loop it. And then when you play it an octave lower, so this is the original pitch. Okay, maybe shorten the loop length. And increase the crossfade a bit. What if you play it an octave higher? That's not bad. Okay, so to make this even more ambient than it already is, let's add some delay and reverb. So I'm thinking to start with reverb, and let's use this hybrid reverb. Put the algorithm on quartz. Let's put on vintage on subtle, bass on mono, and maybe lower it to 40% dry wet. The only thing that I'm thinking about changing the attack time, because the attack of the sound is very loud now. So what if we change the attack a little bit to maybe 20 milliseconds? Or even more, 50. Let's change the volume to 9, so I boosted it maybe a bit too much. And now we want some delay. I'm going to use the echo device in Ableton for a change. Let's change the dry wet to 45, feedback to 35, and let's create some stereo spread by adding 5% to the right, 7%. Let's lower the dry wet a bit, so it doesn't completely get washed out. I'm even thinking to change the start point to hear less of the beginning of the sound. So now it becomes more sort of a droning kind of ambient sound rather than you really hear the attack, because the attack of the kalimba sound is really what makes it immediately recognizable as the kalimba, while now you don't necessarily recognize that it's a kalimba. All right, let's put in some MIDI notes to create some kind of example melody texture. So we're in octave C3. Let's go for a D major. And let's make a 4-bar sequence. Let's change the velocities a bit. So this sounds pretty nice, but I want to try one more thing, and that is to add a little bit of overdrive or distortion to the sound. So maybe to give it a bit more presence and edge. So let's try that. Let's try the pedal and then on the overdrive setting and lower the dry wet as well, and just do a little bit, maybe 3%. Yeah, I think this is a little bit nicer than otherwise it becomes a bit too muted almost. So the overdrive is only 5%, the gain setting. In the EQ I lowered the bass a bit and boosted the mid, and the dry wet is on 20, so it's very subtle. If you would do 100%, it sounds like this. It's a bit too much, I think. And without it sounds like this. So what I will do now is select all these devices and save it in an instrument rack. So I group them and I save it as ambient kalimba. So I add it to my library of instruments. So yeah, that was it for this video. What I did is I sampled a few notes from this kalimba with the RØDE NTG4 shotgun mic. And I took basically only one note, put that into sampler, put the sustain mode on forward, reverse, and created a pad drone sound from this one note. Then I added a bunch of effects to kind of shape the sound a bit more. If you're interested in sampled instruments, I have a sample library on Gumroad. It's a free library with 50 instruments for Ableton. It's mostly simpler, a few of them are sampler as well. So go check that out. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and see you in the next one.